The Women in the Castle takes place in the immediate aftermath of World War II in Germany. To me, you can learn as much about looking at complicity as you can at resistance. A lot of what my book is about is the seeing and who did see clearly what was happening as it unfolded and who didn't or chose not to. Many Germans think of themselves as, oh, my family, my grandparents were ordinary Germans. But a lot of ordinary Germans went along with what was happening during the war and certainly before the war. The Women in the Castle is the story of 3 German widows living in an abandoned castle. They are all nominally the widows of resistors, men who were executed for their roles in the failed 20th of July assassination attempt on Hitler's life. The 3 widows represent 3 very different German experiences of that time. But as the story unfolds, we realize they're all a little different than they might have at first appeared to be. It's not a story of heroes or victims. It takes place around the edges and in the gray areas. So I'm half German, and I grew up hearing stories of my mother's childhood in post-war Germany. I also grew up visiting my grandparents on the farm that my mother had grown up in Germany. So this is a dowry box. My grandmother gave it to me when I was born, so inside it there's a little message she wrote. This is an old photo album of my grandmother's, and on the one hand, I had a lot of shame about being German, but on the other hand, I loved going to the farm, and I loved my grandparents, especially my grandmother. This picture always shocks me when I see it because it is of the youth lager that my grandparents led, and it looks so archetypally Hitler youthish. I feel a special responsibility to look at what happened during World War II and to understand my own family's complicity and to talk about it. I tried to write a book about relatable characters. I hope that readers will come away with a sense of the complexity of life at that time and the decisions people made and didn't make.